Hey nerds, welcome to the show and welcome to just a simple commentary. I'd like to add comments to Mr. Matty's videos, but I know that he might not read them. Now, he might not watch this, and other people might not watch this, but if you're watching this, I'm glad you are. I'm not here to be critical, I'm just here to add a little bit of extra information. Science, spirit, life. Nerd Pope King. So let's listen to what Mr. Matty has to say about this Starfield news, blood, and gore.
Salutations, everybody. It is Matty here today, sitting down for some Bethesda news. Now, wait, before you get all bent out of shape. Not a negative news video this time around. I know, last week brought us back to the very scary times of the canvas bag shortage of 2018, just terrifying times.
Oh, jeez. Okay, if you're not familiar with this story, it's a heck of a one. And yes, it was that bad. So, when Fallout 76 was announced, they offered, of course, the special edition, which, as you can see in this picture, was supposed to come with a canvas bag, a helmet, a map, some toys, a bunch of things. And yes, it did come with all of those. Except not quite the canvas bag. No, they did offer the power armor helmet, and the helmet came T-51B. It's massive, it doesn't fit well, but it's what we wanted, and it's a great showpiece. Okay, but instead of the canvas bag, they sent us these. Now, it's still in the original plastic because it's that garbage a product. It was a nylon bag instead of canvas bags. And of course, we didn't want those. We wanted the canvas. Bethesda said that at the time, 2019, right? This is before the shutdown, right? Before everybody was locked in, before everything crashed. They said there was a shortage of canvas. So they sent us all nylon bags, and they thought that would be acceptable until lawsuits started to get launched. And so after 7 months of waiting, they sent us the canvas bags. And I love this canvas bag. I use it as a grocery bag. Okay, but that's not the point. The point is, it was terrible. Let's get back to the video.
So if you go ahead and check out the new banner, you'll see up close and personal Starfield is rated M, 17+, for violence, blood, suggestive themes, strong language, and use of drugs. Now, following Bethesda slipping out the rating from the ESRB, the rating summary has now been published, and there's quite a bit of information we can take away from this beyond any of the blood and gore stuff we're going to get into, which is the rating summary here. It says, this is an open-world role-playing game in which players assume the role of a miner tasked with finding artifacts across the galaxy. From first/third-person perspectives, players interact with various characters, complete quests, and search for supplies while battling enemies like humans, robots, alien creatures.
I'd just like to interject for a moment here to be clear. When he says you play as a miner, he means like mining, not like a youngling. Carry on.
One thing that we picked up on during the 2022 gameplay reveal for Starfield was when your man took out the double barrel shotgun and let loose on someone about 2 feet away from you. No blood, no gore, nothing. And that was a little bit disappointing, but we were wondering, is it on quality mode? Is it just an early build where this stuff has yet to be implemented? But the big thing was, is there going to be that ridiculous gore factor that we saw in Fallout 4, in Fallout 3, in Fallout New Vegas? Or would that just be specific to that series? Because even in something like Skyrim, you could decapitate your foes when you get the right perk upgrades. So what I did was a little bit of digging just to see what some of the descriptions and breakdowns for respectively Elder Scrolls V Skyrim and Fallout 4 were. Let's start off with Skyrim, where you'll see just a brief snippet says blood and gore, intense violence, sexual themes, and a use of alcohol. Again, now moving it over to Fallout 4, you'll see the description is blood and gore, intense violence, strong language, and again, use of drugs, which we already know how that works in Fallout. Now, you'll notice both these games had blood and gore. However, if you go back to Starfield, you're going to see that it was just described to have blood. no gore. So what this likely means, I mean, it's self-explanatory, right? That the enemies will bleed, but you're not going to probably be bursting them to bits, taking off their head. I don't imagine any limbs will be removed in this game. So keep that in mind. Then again, though, when you look at something like Star Wars Jedi Survivor, you were able to remove the limbs of enemies. So sometimes gore, I guess, isn't factored in that way if there isn't blood surrounding it. I don't know how exactly the ESRB fully breaks that aspect down, because again, you're chopping off stormtrooper arms, not legs, just arms, and maybe that's the lowest you can go before you're pushing into that M rating. But it doesn't outright completely cancel it out. But I would say just get your expectations in check.
Now, as a longtime Fallout fan, I'd just like to add a little bit of context here. In the first Fallout game, there was a trait known as Bloody Mess. You pick that at the beginning of the game, and then throughout the game, every death would just be a ridiculous explosion, the worst bloody death imaginable for whatever creature you're destroying. And they carried that on to subsequent games like Fallout 2, Tactics, 3, 4, New Vegas. Okay. Skyrim, on the other hand, did not quite have a bloody mess, but there were kill scenes, decapitations, blood sprays. I think the blood spray might be the gore, but I'm not sure about that. I think the gore, at least when it comes to Fallout, is more referring to the goop all over the Master's chambers, the Master himself, Master, the meat bags, the squelching sounds as you dig through the meat bags, the raider outposts with corpses hanging from hooks. And in Skyrim, we had corpses littered around with blood all over the place as well. Heck, let's think of New Vegas and the bodies on crosses. Heck, the burnt bodies on pikes in Skyrim. That is a staple of the Fallout universe, and definitely not something I expect to see on the bright and clean, shiny starships of Starfield. Usually those biohazards are not something you want to have around your ship. You have a limited amount of oxygen everywhere. It's being recycled. As the blood evaporates, it becomes part of the air. You don't want that in a confined space of a starship. So it makes sense that there's not going to be just corpses littered everywhere, space raiders who decorate the inside of their ships with bloody corpses. You're not going to have those New Vegas heads on spikes. Well, I hope that just adds a little bit more context. So I think that it's not so much the dismemberment and the kill scenes, but more the goop, the meat bags, the sound of squelching as you dig through these bags of meat. And I hope that helped add some context. Anyways, thank you for participating. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, like this video, share it with somebody who might also get a kick out of it, and make sure to subscribe so you can get more nerdery. Anyway, thanks nerds. Y'all just keep being awesome.